a matchup like today, ending it off facing Cal, their crosstown rival, is going to be really important for both teams in this matchup.
Popescu gets us started in the middle attack there by Sayer, getting the offense started for Stanford. And getting a hot start on either side is going to be huge. And on the overpass, it is going to be a point for Cal. And
what we also talked about in pregame was for them having that hot start and really coming aggressively against their opponent. It really changes the tide of the matchup.
And for Stanford,
also a lot of tempo on that ball. You see how aggressive they serve and a lot of these very fast serves as well.
Sophia Johnson gets us started, right side over to Harvey. And that is the elevation showing its way. She hit that back line, but when you're able to fly up that high, the angles that you have in your back. Michaela Hayden with the attacking error, and that'll send Rubin to the line as she continues this long run for Stanford. Going back to your best player in Michaela Hayden, and finally able to break the streak of Stanford. That breaks a 8-0. Taylor, you now, you've had some playing experience as you has got the start in the past, but how does that change the Stanford offense?
Well, a great block there from Sophie Scott for the Bears, but
you've got 4 or 5 different other attackers on the floor that are able to set you up and get you started.
But also that's just having good hitters, and good hitters know how to adjust.
Middle attack there by Andrew. And a great job on the other side, Sophie Scott. She has been doing a tremendous job early on.
Rubin here just served an ace for the Cardinal as they push to try to close this set out so quickly.
And that 8-0 run by Stanford was off the service of Rubin. Going to the right side on the slide, not great contact there by Hayden. And now the 7 on the other side of the net, and White and Blashoff didn't quite get a clean attack of her own. Out of system, left side, Blashoff off the hands. Force feeding their middle, and this one sent away. Whether it's on the attack or the block, Julia Blashoff is having herself a great first set.
Blashoff is doing it all right in the way that some of the hitters are going to approach the ball to hit. They're taking a little bit off right now from what I've seen as far as going up and being aggressive, except for Carbonara, and that's what I'm used to seeing from the freshman. That hit right there is what I saw over last week. Ashley Lee, like I said, she goes in and comes out aggressive, but for Carbonara these last few weeks, she has been the one to help with steamrolling and getting that energy from her teammates.
Back set on the slide. This time the swing was by Sayer. And now another free ball. Going back once again, in the block by Carbonara.
Carbonara in these last few plays, she's been doing so well. I'm watching.
Backline serve by Logan Tusher. But she keeps this one in play. Going middle. Not quite a clean attack there. Tusher setting up. Right side slam dunk. Jordan Harvey putting it straight down. And the first set goes the way of the card, 25-15.
And as you mentioned with Harvey, you do when you aren't kind of showing up in those ways on the defense.
The rotation puts Logan Tusher in, so this is the first time she's playing back-to-back sets. And the attack starting for the Bears goes too long. First point goes to the Cardinal. Seen it time and time again where players just come out and you blink an eye like we talked about many times, and that game has just left you. Erica Sayer with the block of her own. And between Erica Sayer,
she knows how to control the ball with the off speed and really give the team a different look.
And Blashoff puts a rocket into that back line. Cal doing well to just get that ball over the net. Tusher left side, Rubin sent away.
That ball
Scott
there.
And Lee, oh my goodness. And I mean, it's kind of amazing. She jumps up so high every time she gets the ball that she almost has a second to think and say, hey, I can send this off the block.
As we called her Air Jordan in the past.
Going to the left side this time for Dominique Fills. And a block right down the middle. Great job there by Hayden and Lee.
I can see in a couple of these swings for Rubin, like that last.
Haley Rubin has seen a lot during her time, one of the 2 seniors on the roster for Stanford. Tusher to the middle. Big swing by Andrew. Now on the off speed from the left side by O'Gara. Rubin, cut shot. And the answer by Dominique Fills. So Fills didn't play in that first set. Now she comes in and on the last few serve receives, Cal, they had two different players right at that serve receive. Nobody was on the same page. You take that timeout, you get yourself settled, you put in a nice player that you got from Iowa, and now you start to cut back into this one as it's 9-6 Stanford. Setting left side over to Rubin, and Rubin. I think she's starting to get a little more comfortable with the players that she has on the court and really just getting a touch on how they want it set up. This one a little bit slow, and the stark height difference is always pretty funny to see as well. Popescu back in the back line. Tusher on the slide, and that is great communication as Erica Sayer.
Pretty even at this moment, even with their blocks. And Cal actually leading with 6 blocks to Stanford's 5.
Going left side over to Rubin, and Rubin buries it away in that back corner. Back like a shotgun and just sprays it. And the ace there by Rubin from the back line. Service aces has been her forte, up to 142. That is 3rd all time for the Stanford Cardinal. She got a good job on the defense side with Diggs as well, as Blashoff from that near side pin just collecting hands as that ball goes out of play. Leaders in kills, it's Blashoff with 11, Rubin with 8, Harvey 5, Andrew 4, and then it's Hayden with 3. Nearly another service ace.
And this is why serving is so important. We've seen in these last 4 points, Cal has not been able to run their offense.
And just like that, up 1 set, it's set point for the Card, 24-12. Another aggressive serve taken by Rubin. This time the middle attack by Hayden. Blashoff down the middle of the floor, and Stanford leads 2-0, 25-12 in the second.
What an impressive. You have no idea what's going to happen. And this is something that is going to be good practice for them to decide, hey, maybe we have to make a change at some point in a match in the NCAA tournament. We need to be able to have our other setters come in and be able to run the offense. And we're seeing that tonight.
On the overpass, set back over. Now they go right side, cross court with the attack.
Tough when you're really out of system and the ball is really far off the net. You're trying to find space. You know you have a big block in front of you, and we saw that from a couple of those errors. They're really trying to aim for the high hands, but missing a little bit behind themselves. That ball just kind of sailing straight out and not really able to use the hands on the block.
Yeah, it feels like their angles are just slightly off by a couple degrees up to this point. Setting up the left side. This one, they had the angle there, but it just happened that
on that last play.
Spencer Etzler starting us off. This time with the off speed, good read by Tusher. Harvey off the block. Setting middle, Steerboo. And that is a good answer there. You insert Ashley Woodall for a reason. And now as we get to this point in the season, this is going to be the 4th, so 3 more matches remaining after this one. Is a really good job by Ashley Woodall.
Of matches going into the end of November, this is what you want to see, where you're at, where your development is with your players. How is the connection on the floor with your team? When you're facing a team like Stanford, we talked about the speed in which they run their offense. They're doing such a good job of moving that ball around, and that speed is difficult. When you're a blocker and you're up, trying to make sure you get up and get a touch on the block, close the seam with a team like Stanford, it's not easy to do.
Finding the angle there is Phils. And the ball jousted at the net, won by Stanford. Going up with the attack this time is Logan Tusher. You can see her beach volleyball skills coming into play that time. Setting left side over to Blashoff, into the block once more.
Couple good touches on the block there from Cal, getting a hand on it. That's what I talked about earlier, of wanting to see more of that and not allowing Blashoff to just literally blast off and hit on open net and hit space on the floor. But we'll get an answer there from Sayer as she comes back with a swing of her own.
As for rallying, I got one, huh?
It always happens when we're talking about it. We jinx sometimes.
That's exactly how it goes. Sometimes you use your powers for...
You know, battling through injury is just so difficult, especially in a game like this.
Blashoff got the point off the block, and she'll get us started for the service line, but a nice answer there. That is another double-double, her 8th of the season. On the left side, and the block was too strong there. Fills. Blashoff also has a double-double. This is her 2nd of the season.
Another point there for Woodruff.
She's currently only sitting on 1 kill, but it's just the pressure that she's been able to bring from that pin that has been really effective for the Bears.
She's also done a really good job when she can of getting in a good spot on the block. For what I've seen so far with Carbonara, she's done a really good job of staying in and at least slowing the ball down in some of these plays.
Desjardins got us started with the serve, and
Well, we know after this matchup they will be going back to really watch film and figure out where they needed to be better here and try to make less errors. And I think that's really the key for this Cal Bears team. Try to be as efficient as possible and communicate on the floor and complete a lot of these plays.
Rubin with the dig in the back row. They'll set up Ipar Kurt as Kurt sends this one straight to Popescu.
That is what I was talking about. That last play is exactly what I mean from the Bears.
25 preseason All-ACC selection. The U19 Euro MVP back playing for her country in Turkey. And working off the block well that time on the right side was Arissa Carbonara.
All the teams that I was on, we always had a few what they would call youth players that would move up onto our team. So we would have some girls who technically were maybe high school age, but they're getting reps with professional volleyball players in Turkey and in the professional volleyball game.
Tusher from the service line. And now this one will be put over the net. Good clean opportunity right side. And that's a kill from Zaria Queen.
This team, the last time she came in for the first time, and they had so much energy, and we're so excited for her to come onto the floor as one of their young players.
24-14, set and match point. They'll go left side. They'll go Ipar Kurt. And the Bears played some terrific defense. The block there by Sydney Duncan. Left side for Phil, sent away. Going back over to Phil's, into the block, and it's out of play. It's still set and match point as Sophie Scott goes to the back line to start us off. Too long, the service error will give the 25th point to the Cardinal, and Stanford takes this 101st version of the Big Spike 3-0.